Okay, welcome to creating your own image for rock, paper and scissors. Just in case you don't want to play the R, the P and the S and show those onto the screen. You imagine a grid of, well, 5 by 5. So you've got 25 little lights to play with. I'm using a table in Word just to take a look at how these work. Because if I'm going to create a picture of paper, well, I'm going to fill in all these outside ones, and then that's the outside of my paper. Or at least that's what I see when I think of paper. So all those ones are coloured in. Now, the inside ones, I'm going to leave white, because that's my white paper. The red line is my outline. Now let's copy this one, so I can work out what I'm going to do in my microbit code and my MicroPython code to enable me to make this picture. Bam, there we go. We've got the second one. Let's close them up a little bit. So this is my first one. This one I kind of want to remove the colours on so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Now I'm going to fill every red square with a 5. Okay? 5 works at like half brightness for each of the little LEDs or the little bulbs that are on the front of your microbit. So 5 is half as bright as it could go. If I don't want any colour whatsoever or any light shining through, I'm going to put a 0. So my ones in the middle are going to be, my gaps in the middle are going to all be zeros. So as far as microbit is concerned and MicroPython, my picture has got rows of 5s and 0s. Now you can go as maximum of 9, but that will be the maximum brightness it can do. So these zeros mean there's going to be nothing. But how am I going to write that in MicroPython? So my paper image is going to equal an image with a capital I, open parentheses, and then I'm going to use all the numbers I've got in the rows of each of these tables. So my first row is 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. So I've got 5 5s. Close the speech marks. I'm going to separate each row by a comma, and then in speech marks again, I've now got a 5, I've got 3 zeros, and then I've got another 5. That's my second row down. Now, I'll be honest, paper was one of the easiest images to choose from because the next row is exactly the same. It's got my 5, my 3 zeros, and then my 5, comma. 5, my 3 zeros, then my 5, comma. And then the last row is all 5 5s again. And then I've got to close my parentheses. That's all well and good, but that's created my image of paper. It's not actually displayed it to the screen. So if I want to display it, I still use display.show, but inside my parentheses, I put whatever I've called the image. In this case, I've called it paper. So I started with my image, and then changed all the red boxes to 5s and kept the others as 0s because I don't want to see them. My paper is what I've called my image, and each single one of the rows has its own set of speech marks, its own comma to separate them out, and then its own set of speech marks. There's nothing in between the numbers, they're all together as 1. Ah yes, and then my last row of 5s along the bottom. Close the parentheses, and then whatever I've chosen to name my picture is what I put in this display.show. Let's see what happens when I copy and paste it into my code. I'm definitely going to put the paper at the top because that image is always going to stay the same. My image of my paper is never going to change. But when I show the picture of paper, I will be changing it slightly. It's hard to see it on this screen size, but there we go. If I move it across here, if value equals 2, I'm display.showing a P. I'm going to leave the P on the screen for a couple of seconds, or maybe just 1 second. I'm then going to change the display to be my show of paper, and then I'm done. Please note, I told you in the last video that you're going to need to find the error. That one error is still in this code. I have not changed it yet. Your next hint is the error is on the line that says value equals random.randint, open parentheses, 1, 3, close parentheses. There's one error in there. You've got to make the picture for rock and scissors all by yourselves. Good luck, and over to you.